Hello, everybody. This is Roberta Eastman from Home Buyers Inventory. So glad you are joining us. Thank you very much. Today, we are going to talk about or share with you 5 reasons why buying a house is 100% worth it. Welcome to Home Buyers Q&A number 59. We often have the question, should I rent or should I buy? So let's go ahead and talk about why it's 100% worth buying a home. Number 1. Privacy. Who would not want a little more privacy, right? If you have been renting, you know that you cannot have the 100% privacy that you want. However, it's different if you own a home. If you are the owner, you can do anything, anytime, whatever you want in your home. There would be no landlord who would tell you what to do, and of course, no one would invade your privacy at any time. One of the biggest issues that we have when renting and when we're talking to renters, they have their issue or their biggest pet peeve is that their landlord invades their privacy. So number 2, living with a local community. And this has been extremely helpful in the current situation of our economy. Living with a local community has been really important. And having community in a renting space is different than when you are in a neighborhood of homeowners. And how is that? If you're just renting a space or an apartment, what you have as neighbors, you don't really have a connection with. Now, that's not always the case, because when I was renting a townhouse when I was younger, we used to play cards with our next door neighbors all the time. So we had a huge connection. But we all had the same desire, which was to be homeowners ultimately. So we were renting to move on to homeownership. But typically, you don't have a connection with your neighbors when you're renting or you have an apartment. And one of the reasons for that is because most of the renters in an apartment, they're very busy with their own lives. They don't usually spend time with the neighbors in their space, and the turnover that occurs when you're in a rental area with the neighbors is much, much higher than when you're in an area of homeowners. Now, when we look to purchase our homes, we purchase in a homeowner area versus a renter's area. And the reason for that, again, is because of the turnover, but also because of the mindset of the person, the potential tenant buyer going into the home is that of a homeowner versus that of a renter. The homeowner mindset, they understand they're going to have the home at the end of the term. They can make it their own. They can engage in the community and in the neighborhood because they're going to be settled. With renters or a renter's area, not that their mindset is bad, because renters, there's reasons to rent. But what that does create in regards to the neighborhood or the connection to the neighbors is people are moving in and out all the time. So it's not as permanent. And it's different if you own the house. Buying a house gives you roots. You're in a community, you become part of that community, and you establish a long-term relationship with that community. You exert more effort to be connected in the community because you know that you'll stay in that neighborhood for a long time or more, maybe even a lifetime. Number 3, designing and redecorating your own home. If you're renting a home, there are some rules and regulations that you cannot do, or you are limited to what you can do. This is one of the biggest complaints that we get when we're talking to people is, again, they're renting a home that they can't make their own. For instance, you'd like the wall to be green, but the current color is white, and you're bored with white. I remember when I was renting, everything was white, and I could not wait to make a color or have a color. So when I bought my home, that was actually one of the reasons or one of the things that attracted me to the home. I didn't have to paint because it was already painted, but the thought of being able to change the wall color from white to something else was motivating to me. It was one of the pieces that I was most excited about when buying a home. But when you're renting and you're bored with the white, you can't touch it because it's not yours to begin with. It's like you're borrowing stuff. You can use it, but you cannot fully have it or have control of it. This is renting. You get to stay in the apartment, but you cannot have it. And also the landlord has the last say whether you stay or not in the space. On the contrary, if you own a home, you can do whatever you like anytime. And this is good news, especially here at Home Buyers Inventory, because here you can paint, you can redecorate to your own taste, and you can make it your own home. The only thing we ask is that you do not remove any load-bearing walls or change the roof line structurally on the home until you officially own it. But that's one of the things that we're most proud of, is we can solve your problem if you're a renter and your problem is that you can't change anything in your house because your landlord won't let you. So that's one of the pain points that our tenants have, and that's why they come to us, because they know they can make the home their own from the beginning. And number 4 on why a home is 100% worth it, and this is a big one, you can achieve mortgage-free living. And this is the main reason why buying a home is worth it. And why is that? Because at the end of the mortgage, you are fully paid and you own the home. So with Home Buyers Inventory, the home that you're now renting, when you go to the bank at the end of the term and get a mortgage within the terms of your agreement with us, the home will become yours and you will have this home as an asset. You will then pay the bank a mortgage, and when you're done paying that mortgage, you will have mortgage-free living. In the future, you can have the home in your retirement or even sell the home so you'll have money for your retirement fund. I have been reading a lot about retirement, and the number one goal of somebody who is retiring, they want that house paid off because it's the biggest expense you have. So to be mortgage-free living is the ultimate goal of somebody when they retire, or they can use for the retirement fund. And number 5, pride of owning a home. Now, this one is intangible, but it lends such a big motivation to people that the pride of owning a home is just something that puts them in a very different mindset. I mean, what more can we say than having the feeling of pride in owning your own home? If you're a person who wishes for it, works for it, and really wants a home of your own, then the pride of finally having your own home, it actually becomes a little overwhelming at the same time as being exciting and feeling accomplished. Again, not for everybody, but when you buy a home, you own that home and no one can take it away from you. You express an unlimited independence, and you are the author of your own life. When you've done the work, everything is set into place, and buying a home is definitely worth it. Buying a home is a major commitment, but the financial and lifestyle benefits are well worth the cost. And that's important. The lifestyle that you want to have could come from buying a home. Achieving home ownership is about more than buying a house. It's about settling into a home. To learn more about buying a home and looking at a rent to own so that you can move forward to home ownership, if you're not able to do it today in the traditional way, then visit us at www.homebuyersinventory.com. You can read our blog, get more information, and you can also get a free Decorating Your Rent-to-Own Home book. And when you do go into a rent-to-own home with us at Home Buyers Inventory, then you can use all of those decorating tips. Again, visit us at www.homebuyersinventory.com. Ask us your questions, read the information, and we're happy to assist. So thank you very much for being with us today, and tune in for our next episode.